And today, it's true, iPad's finally out. It's in the building right next to me here. Bloomberg got a hold of Apple's highly anticipated new tablet 2 days early, and our tech columnist, Jaroslovsky, joins me now to show us just how this works. And this has been one of the most hyped pieces of technology. We're finally getting to see it. What's your first impression here?
My first impression, this is actually a second impression because I got to play with it for a few minutes at the launch event in January.
Just a few minutes.
But the second impression is basically confirms the first. This is a very nice device. It's very slick. It's really different not only from a laptop, but it's also different from an iPhone. It's a different experience.
Now, I expected it to be a little bit larger, maybe like a bigger Kindle. You know, there are the two Kindle sizes, and this is closer to the smaller of the two.
But probably somewhere in between. It's about a 9.7-inch screen.
Can you hold that up so we can
Sure.
show it on the cameras?
Sure. This is about a 9.7-inch screen. And if you're reading a book, it's got a considerably bigger screen than the Kindle. And you can, page through and everything. And it's quite a bit larger in that regard.
Now, if you want to just put this here, the image looks more like a computer screen than, say, the Kindle, where it doesn't have that backlit feeling that it tires sometimes your eyes out.
Well, it feels to me much more like a book,
yeah,
which is a good thing.
Because of the color, or what gives you that?
It's because of the color. It's because of the interface.
The actual page
the page turning experience, and the files themselves look nicer. There are illustrations. There's color illustrations. We were looking for a little while ago at Winnie the Pooh, and you can see all the wonderful shepherd illustrations in it. And so, to me, the experience seems to be much more book-like than on a Kindle.
So, where do we classify this? I mean, is it the quote-unquote Kindle killer, or is this more of a competition for market share from laptops, from netbooks?
I think a lot of that is going to depend on how people choose to use it, but I think it is something new. It is, not only is it different than a laptop, but as I say, it's also, the experience seems to be different even than the iPhone, even though it shares obviously a lot of DNA with the iPhone. It's something new because you're interacting with the device. It's a large device, but you're interacting with it directly as opposed to interacting with it through a mouse or through a keyboard.
So Piper Jaffray is estimating that Apple's going to sell about 200,000 of these on Saturday and on Sunday when they come to market. They're the early adopters at that stage. But where do you see this ending up? You've got comic books now. I mean, is there a age range that you think this is appropriate for?
I think that the early adopters will be out in force. I live near the Short Hills Mall, and I was at the store last night, the Apple store. They're already bracing for it. I have a feeling that it will be, at least early on, a younger people's device.
Okay.